How's it going, everybody? Rogue Ace here again, bringing you another Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire Wi-Fi battle. Today we've got a battle against Rose, a friend of mine who, I know they're good. I just haven't played them in, I want to say, at least a year. It's been quite a while. So anyway, we just had this battle last night, and if you notice, it is Hyper Offense versus Hyper Offense. Two very fast-moving offensive teams with not as much defensive synergy, I suppose. That's the style I prefer to play most often. So, looking at my team, I've got the Bisharp and Mega Gallade core, which at the time of this battle, this is actually a pretty common core in OU just because of how offense heavy it is, and Bisharp being a great Pokemon, and me just wanting to use Mega Gallade, to be honest. I think Mega Gallade's pretty cool, now that I've started using him. And another surprise, I guess, on my team that I guess throws some people off is the use of both Scarf Landorus Tea and Scarf Thunderous Tea, which I like and has been working out for me so far. Looking at his team, it looks like it's got to be Scarf Magneton, because that's one of the only reasons someone would use Magneton over Magnezone in OU. And he's got the Mega Altaria, and I'm a little scared of it because I don't know what set it's running. And the Keldeo is kind of scary too because it can punch holes in my team. Nothing I have safely switches in on it, so let's see how this goes. I lead off with my Scarf Thunderous Tea, as he leads off with his Keldeo. And I realize that it's such a huge threat, so I just want to get rid of it if it's going to be in here. I just go for the Volt Switch. And he wanted to play it very safely. I'm pretty sure he knows that Keldeo is pretty important for taking down my team. He goes into the Celebi, but that allows me to switch in Bisharp safely, which isn't as good for the Celebi. And nothing on his team really wants to take a knockoff from a Life Orb Bisharp, so I just go for the knockoff. I mean, if he switched out into the Altaria, then I could just hit it with Iron Head next turn, so it didn't matter much to me. And he stays in, probably realizing that it's not going to be putting in very much work for him this game. And same with, speaking of not putting in very much work, I decided to go into Gengar here against his Keldeo because I did not want to switch anything else into it, and I figured that Gengar would be the most expendable member of my team. And plus, by going into Gengar, I could scout out what item he had. And based on the damage he did to Gengar, I'm fairly certain that he is Choice Specs. So go out into Thunderous Tea, get a Volt Switch off, and if he wants to switch, then cool. If he doesn't, then I can really do a lot of damage to him. And he switches in, probably not expecting me to be Scarf. But he does live anyway. But it's going to put him in a really low range of HP. And since I'm pretty sure he's Scarfed at this point, or rather Specs, I go into Empoleon to take my special defensive Empoleon to take that hit. And I just go for my Rocks because I want to get my Rocks up fast. Rocks will whittle down Heatran and Hydreigon on the switch in. It'll really hurt Altaria before it Mega Evolves, so Rocks are pretty important to me this game. And I had checked to make sure he was Magnet Pull and not just bluffing it, and he was, so otherwise I would have switched out to Thunderous Tea. And I just sacked off Empoleon there. And as I said, I'm pretty certain from team matchup that he is Scarf Magneton, because that's really the only reason one would use Magneton over Magnezone, because it's naturally faster. And I wanted to go for the Volt Switch because if he switched out, then I would have gotten a lot of offensive momentum since he doesn't have a ground type. But if he stays in, then it's no matter to me because I've got a safe switch in to Landorus Tea to not take anything from Thunderbolt, and he stays in again against Landorus as well. Abe probably didn't expect me to have 2 Scarfs on the team, and the reason I did not go for the Earthquake is because I want to have offensive momentum. I want to keep it. If I had gone for Earthquake, he could have gotten easy switch in with Hydreigon or Altaria, so that would have put me in a bad position. So my plan was just to whittle him down with the Volt Switch and U-turn. But he switches out, goes to Hydreigon, which is fine by me. I Volt Switch out, and I just go for a knockoff, thinking he might be Scarf, but he turns out to be Life Orb. And I'm glad I went for the knockoff rather than U-turn here, because with the Life Orb, I would have definitely died, but nope, I live without the Life Orb, which is pretty great for me. Landorus will make some pretty good death fodder later on, or, assuming he doesn't get up hazards, I could just get a late game sweep. And now he's -2 because of the Draco Meteor, so I can switch in Gallade pretty safely. Plus, by him going for a Dark Pulse, I can get the Justified boost. So that works out really well for me. Now I Mega Evolve. I do not expect him to be mixed, but I imagine he's mixed specifically because of Heatran, which is alright, but I'm not worried about it because it does very little to me. I was debating going for the Swords Dance here, rather than just going straight for the close combat, but in the end I don't think it really mattered much for me, because I didn't want Magneton to come in to revenge kill me, so I figured a turn of setup would just be a waste of time. And I'm pretty certain that Scarf Magneton can outspeed base 110, which is what Mega Gallade is, so I switch out, and he makes a really good play in double switching into his Heatran, which matches up well against a lot of the things I have on my team right now. Now, the thing is, I don't want to stay in here with Thundurus, because I'm not in a good position. It's likely Split F Heatran, as almost everyone runs nowadays. But the thing is, I also don't want to switch anything else on my team into it, because nothing on my team really wants to take the Lava Plume and risk getting burned. And unfortunately for me, he does get the burn on Thundurus, but in the end it really won't matter much, because it's just whittling me down a little. It really doesn't matter much in the end. Luckily I hit that first Focus Blast, and he's just trying to stall me out right now with the Protect. And luckily I hit the next Focus Blast, which is great for me. It's really good. And that is enough to take him out. So, great job, Thundurus T. Thundurus T really pulled through right here. And he still doesn't have any hazards up on my side of the field, and I'm in a pretty good position. Now, as I said before, I'm scared of this Mega Altaria because I do not know what set it is, so I sack off Landorus here for Death Fodder, just to scout out what he was going to do. And if he was Dragon Dance, then it's even better for me, because then I get the Intimidate off, and I get a free attack on him, since Jolly Scarf Landorus, he outspeeds him anyway. And it turns out to be Dragon Dance, so I can deal with that pretty easily. I go for the Earthquake just to get a nice chunk of damage off on him before he kills me with a return. And I almost kill him there, actually. So Landorus T's power really is not to be messed with. And I can easily revenge kill him here with Thundurus, since the hidden power will be enough from that range. I was debating going for the Volt Switch, but in the end it really doesn't matter. And next turn I'm going to go down to the burn. He just comes in with Magneton, because Magneton can take the HP Ice after Rocks. Keldeo likely cannot take it after Rocks, but really, I can just take them on with anything else on my team, with either of the 2 other Pokemon I have left, which are Bisharp and Mega Gallade. Funny enough, that's the core of the team. And either one of them can just take on the Magneton. I went out to Bisharp because I didn't want Gallade to take any damage, I guess, but really it doesn't matter. I go for the Sucker Punch. Since he seems to be choice locked, it seems like a safe play. And his Keldeo is obviously choice locked at this point, so the Sucker Punch is easily going to kill it at that range, which is about 3% HP. And Life Orb Bisharp really coming through. I've had a few matches with it, and it has done a lot of work. This is a Jolly max attack, max speed Bisharp. And same with the Mega Glade. The Mega Glade is really important to have Jolly on because then it can naturally outspeed Keldeo, Garchomp, speed tie with Gengar. Since base 110 is now really important speeds here with Metagross running around the Mega Lotties, and, well, they're not really running around, but they're still base 110. Mega Diancie. So I really like how this team has worked, but I'll probably make a new team pretty soon, just to try out some new Pokemon, try out new Megas. So yeah, thanks for the battle, Rose. It was a really good battle. I really like having a hyper-offensive battle like that, really fast-paced. So, that was the battle for right now, and see you guys next time.